What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have another AI reaction for you today. Today I'm going to be watching how I'd learn AI in 2025. This video has over 1.5 million views. I'm not sure who the creator is on this one. I'm going to make sure I give him a shout out. Dave Eblar. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But if you guys are liking the AI content, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Helps me grow, helps you guys see the videos more often as they come out. So please throw subscribe down there. With that being said, let's jump right into it.
So you want to learn artificial intelligence, then
Yes,
this
we
video
do.
is for you. I'm going to provide you with a complete roadmap that I would follow if I had to start over today on my artificial intelligence journey. And now, for context, I started studying artificial intelligence back in 2013, 10 years ago, and over the past years I've been working as a freelance data scientist, helping my clients with various end-to-end data science and artificial intelligence solutions and applications. I also share all of this knowledge and my journey on this YouTube channel, which as of today has over 25,000 subscribers. And at the end of this video, I will also provide you with a resource completely for free where you can follow all of these steps to complete the roadmap, even with training videos and instructions. So make sure to beginner all the way to monetizing my data and AI skills. It's important to provide some context on what is currently going on with the AI hype, because I see a lot of new people entering the field, and for a good reason, because the AI market size is expected to grow up to 20-fold by the year 2030, bringing it all the way to nearly 2 trillion US.
Yeah, I mean, look at this chart where we are
Year 2030, bringing it all the way to
the market cap is sitting at around 500 billion, almost 500 billion, not even quite there yet. There's going to be a point where we get to this 1 trillion mark over the next couple of years, then 1.5 trillion, and then 2 trillion, probably early 2030s. So it's super important for us to understand this market and this industry right now. While it's at the baby phase still, it's still so young in terms of AI chatbots and capabilities of what we could do from system and processes. So the sky's the limit, guys. This is why we have to learn this stuff. That's why we're watching these videos.
Nearly 2 trillion US dollars. So it's really one of the best opportunities, I would say, right now to get into, because we're still early. We're still at the beginning of this AI revolution. And also with the release of these pre-trained models from OpenAI, it's now also easier than ever to enter the field. But that said, that is also where a lot of the misunderstanding and just wrong expectations arise from, because I see a lot of people online as well as on YouTube explaining like how you can quickly start, for example, your own AI automation agency. And while there are great tools already online out there like BotPress and Stack AI and Flowwise, which I also made a video on, where you can quickly spin up prototypes and simple bots, and even can get a little bit more advanced. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely build some great solutions with that. But if you really want to learn artificial intelligence and build applications that companies can count on and build upon, then you really have to understand the coding part, the technical part really of it. So that's really where our starting point should be for you and for your learning path. Figuring out, hey, do I want to just learn how to use these no-code, low-code tools already available, or do I really want to learn artificial intelligence? And with that said, there is also just a general misunderstanding, I believe, of what really AI is, because AI is such a large umbrella term, and it's also nothing new. It's been around since the 1950s. But right now, with the ChatGPT hype and the OpenAI models, people think AI is that. Really, if we look at what artificial intelligence really is, it's, like I've said, a real big umbrella term with various subfields. So for example, within artificial intelligence, which is here explained as programs with the ability to learn and reason like humans. Machine learning. Then we have deep learning, which is another subset focusing on neural networks. And then we have the field of data science. But in my work as a data scientist, I use artificial intelligence, I use machine learning, and I also use deep learning. It's a lot more than what people think. The first real question that you gotta ask yourself is, do you want to be a coder?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to answer this. You guys could answer this in the chat as well. Do you want to be a coder? My answer, no, absolutely not. I don't want to be a coder. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to build businesses. I want to build systems. I don't want to be staring at code all day.
And now, there's no right or wrong answer here. There are plenty of opportunities right now and also in the future for both pathways, for both low-code, no-code tools and building custom applications, but you just gotta be aware of the pros and cons to both of the sides. And now, to be totally clear, this roadmap is for people that really want to learn AI with a depth of understanding, really learn the technical side of things. And now, if you've decided that that is not for you, that's of course totally fine. Like I've said, there's no right or wrong. But then if you still want to do things with AI, then I recommend starting out by checking out BotPress, like I've said, or Stack AI, which are excellent resources. Or you could check out my video on Flowwise here on YouTube, where I show you how you can get started with a low-code, no-code tool as well, completely for free. But if you do decide that you want to join the dark side and become a coder, then let's proceed with the next steps.
Hey guys, and your path in AI might look different than mine. Maybe some of you come from a data scientist background, maybe you come from a computer science background and you're already a programmer or a developer and you're looking to get into AI for helping you in those reasons, right? I'm not looking for those reasons specifically. I'm looking to implement processes that could limit my work, that could expand my workflow and limit my time I have to spend on the workflows, and also do things for me that I don't have to do. Type out emails, type out customer responses, and all those kind of things that we've talked about in previous videos. So not everyone's path is going to look the same in AI. It's all about how you use it.
Approach is quite different from anything else you will find online. And now, why is that? And what I typically see online is you have two ends of the spectrum, basically, where on the one hand you have the people talking about these low code and no code tools, not really getting into the specific, the theoretical part. And then on the other hand, you have the more classical approaches towards artificial intelligence and machine learning, where people really get into the mathematics and the statistics, giving you roadmaps where you really have to get theoretical first. I'm a firm believer of learning by doing, reverse engineering, things that people have already done, putting in practice, and then trying to fill in the gaps. And now the technical roadmap that I'm going to provide to you will really focus on the fundamentals that you need in order to get started in either artificial intelligence, data science, or anything in between. Like I've said, I've worked in all of these fields over the past 10 years, and I've really identified the core techniques work. So this will work for you if you just want to build applications with large language models and LangChain, for example, but it will also work if you aspire to become a data scientist or a machine learning engineer. Now, the actual first step that I would focus on my AI journey would be to set up my work environment. Now, what does this mean? So Python is the go-to language that we have to learn if you want to get started in AI or in data science. But the thing is, if you learn Python, if you start to follow these tutorials online, videos, training videos, courses even, you can quite quickly understand Python and how it works, because it's one of the easiest languages to get started with. But I found in my personal journey that there's this initial bump where you see things online and you see people run some code, but then you are missing some information on, okay, but how do I now actually do this on my laptop, on my computer? And I would really focus on this first, setting up an environment on your laptop, on your computer, where you have an application, a program, and a Python installation that you are confident with. And now I have a specific approach that I take over here within VS Code, and a lot of people seem to like that. So make sure to check that out in the resources. But this,
guys, I use Windsurf for this environment that he's talking about. If you want to build applications, you want to build websites, you want to build anything that, you know, has to be done through Python code, like he said, I used Windsurf. And this is really how I learned all of this background that he's talking about with Python coding and setting that up through your environments and being able to actually publish applications. Check out Windsurf, because Windsurf has the AI plugin there. You could talk to Gemini, you could talk to OpenAI, you could talk to Cascade, you could talk to Perplexity, all these different applications built into it. And it's also hooked up to a VS Visual Coder. And that's how you could send your application live. So check that out.
this really is step one. They're getting accustomed with that. And that brings us then to step two, which is actually getting started with Python. It's, like I said, the most important language. This is going to be your tool that you're going to build these applications in. Now, if you're new to programming at all, I would first focus on the fundamentals of programming, which I will have resources.
See, I don't even know if you really need to do this, guys. I'll be completely honest with you. If you don't come from a programming background, if you don't come from a Python background, the AI has gotten so much better. And I don't know when this video was recorded. It seems like based on, um, is there a way I could see when was this video posted? No, it's not letting me. Um, I think it's a little bit outdated, this video. So I think that you guys could spin up some prompts inside Google Gemini, where we are now in July of 2025. And it's going to give you so much information on Python coding, and it's going to write code for you that you don't really need to take these steps anymore. I know what he's trying to say in terms of what he's trying to do for this video. He wants you to have a deep understanding of how the on how the artificial intelligence actually works and what the in-depth knowledge is behind that. But for what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to do all this, you know, and maybe you guys are, and that's completely fine. You could take this path to learning the Python and how things are going to work. But I'm trying to hyperspeed business, hyperspeed intelligence when it goes into building software and building this kind of stuff. I can't be wasting time writing code like this because the AI can do it for me.
Too, but then quickly transition into learning the basics of Python, and then specifically some libraries that are very useful for AI and data science in particular. So these would be, for example, the NumPy library, the Pandas library, and the Matplotlib library. Now, these are all libraries that you can use to do data manipulation, data cleaning, creating visualizations. This is really your starting point for starting to work with data, because in the end, all AI applications, all AI tools are created from data, with data. So being able to work with data and turn raw and unstructured data into information, into valuable insights that you can actually do something with is really at the core of artificial intelligence. And now step 3 would be to learn the very basics of Git and GitHub. Now, why is that? Some would argue that that would be a little bit more advanced and it's not required in the beginning. But what I've found, especially with artificial intelligence and also the video tutorials that I make, is that a lot of examples online, people will make that code available via GitHub. But you have to understand kind of at the very basic how these tools work, because that allows you to easily copy and clone, is what they call it, tutorials. That brings us to step 4, which is,
before he gets to step 4, is when I first started prompting, like I said, windsurf, it automatically wanted me to start connecting to GitHub because it was using resources from GitHub, and it wanted me to be able to get on GitHub and start putting my projects up on there so that people can connect to it or whatever it wanted exactly. So the AI told me pretty early on that, okay, you want to use GitHub, you want to make an account, and you want to start learning how to do it. And I did, and I like it. I think it was a good resource for me that the AI told me to use.
is working on projects and building a portfolio. And for this, it's convenient if you already know how to use Git, so you can download some projects, download some code from other people, and then try to reverse engineer it. To me, that really is the best way to learn Python, to get good, to actually understand holistically what a project looks like, how people are structuring their code, and trying to run it. And then you don't understand what's going on, but then trying to reverse engineer. So it's really like beginning with the end in mind, and then trying to change things and see how that affects the different outcomes. And this also provides you with an opportunity to explore what it is specifically that you like about artificial intelligence. All of the areas we've discussed, computer vision, natural language processing, machine learning, here you really find out, okay, these are all the kinds of things that I can do, and this is really what I like to do. And then as you're working on these projects, selecting them, picking them, there will be a lot of gaps and things you don't understand. And that would be a good point, if you're interested in that, to find specific pieces of information or courses to help you with just that. And now, when it comes to projects, probably the best...
Guys, if I take anything out of this video from what he's saying, I really like his ideology about reverse engineering your projects. So even if you're starting a business, right, you want to model your business off of something that's already working, right? It has a market share, it has customer base, it has good leadership that shows that they have a marketing plan. They have all these cohesive parts that come together to create a good business, right? What AI can do now, and I'm not talking in the terms of what he's talking about, data science and Python coding. I'm talking about in terms of the artificial intelligence like Google Gemini, OpenAI, Grok. It could reverse engineer what that business is, and then it can lay out the roadmap for you to be able to go out and build that business yourself. And like he's saying is there's going to be parts of that process in building that business or building that application in Python code that you're not going to understand right away. And that's completely fine because one, the AI could kind of handle a little bit of that load, but also now you could offshore that stuff to people that will do that at a high level and people that already know that kind of stuff. So you don't have to know everything in today's day and age to be able to go out and build a mega business, because these AI tools could reverse engineer the final product and break it up into digestible pieces where then you could go out and you could build that business step by step by step, and the steps that you don't understand you could offshore to someone else. That's just the way I'm thinking about it.
Place to start if you want to learn more about source that you all kinds of requests, and you can even win prizes. So this is one from Google, and the cool thing here is if you click on the actual competition, you can also actually have a look at submissions that people have made. So here you can see an entire notebook from someone that is trying to solve this problem for Google, all with documentation and even the code. So this is such an excellent learning resources source that you can go through. Like I said, there are plenty of resources available on here. But if that's not for you, machine learning, data science, if you want to just explore large language models in OpenAI, for example, right now, then I recommend to check out my GitHub repository on LangChain experiments. So I also have videos on my YouTube channel for that, but here on the repository, that's why it's good that you at least understand the basics of Git and GitHub, so you can take this code, know how to work with it. So here are some cool examples of how you can create a YouTube bot that can summarize a video, or even a Slack bot or a Pandas agent that can ask and answer questions about large data tables. And now, if you're really serious about learning artificial intelligence and data science, then another great resource that you can check out is Project Pro, which I've recently discovered. So Project Pro is a curated library of verified and solved end-to-end project solutions in data science, machine learning, and big data. So overall, this is just an excellent resource with so much information, and all the projects on here that you can pick from, all from the various fields, are all created by top industry experts from leading tech companies. So what I really like about this is, first of all, you have about 3,000 free recipes that like anyone can check out. But if you get to the subscription, and that is where it really gets interesting, you have access to 250 plus end-to-end projects. So you can really like go in here and see, okay, what is it that you're working on? So maybe it's data science and you want to specialize in machine learning. And you go in here, you literally have all kinds of projects. And this is not only a great resource for you to learn from, because you will have complete video walkthroughs, 24/7 support, and you can ask questions, and you can even download all of the code. So literally the entire project will be made available to you. So it's an excellent learning resource, but also for me personally, working as a freelance data scientist, this can also like really help me in my professional work. The projects.
All right, guys. I think I'm just going to end the video here. I completely understand what he's saying. If I would have known this is what the video was, I probably wouldn't have watched it. But if you guys are somebody who is interested in doing this route, where you want to dive deep into the computer programming language of AI and how to build it using Python, go this route. Follow this guy on YouTube. He seems like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. This is just not what I'm personally trying to do, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to just continue to pretend like I care. Oh, yeah, keep talking. Because this is just not the route I'm going. I think that AI alleviates the need to do this stuff. I think he comes from that background, so he understands it better. But for me, I can't commit the time to be able to learn Python and all these different, like all these project libraries and, searching through people's GitHubs. That's just not what I'm trying to do with it. I am trying to save my time in business using AI as opposed to programming the AI. All right, guys, so sorry if you guys wanted to watch the rest of this video. Go watch it, but this is just not what I'm trying to do with AI, so it doesn't make complete sense. for me to continue. But, you know, let me know in the comments, what are you trying to do with AI? If you guys made it this far in the video, like, what are you guys trying to do with AI? Are you trying to use it for your entrepreneurial businesses? Are you trying to do this route, learning Python, learn machine learning, deep data? And, you know, if that's the route you're going to go, I want to learn more about why you're doing that. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow with another video, guys. Thanks for tuning in.